Good morning. It's Charlene, one half of the Flights of Fancy Stitchers, and it is the 8th of October. I'm coming at you with video number 139. Again, shower hair. We just got back from our walkies, so I ran through the shower, and here we are. It's about 7:45 on Tuesday, and drink first. I am a little off kilter. I forgot that Preston had yesterday off. So today seems like a Monday to me when it's actually Tuesday. I say that because state of Colorado, for the state employees, instead of recognizing Columbus Day or Indigenous People Day, they recognize Mother Cabrini Day. You can research that. There's actually a memorial and shrine statue over here on the hill, literally just over the hill here from where we live. And so they recognize that day, like I said, instead of Columbus Day. So he was home yesterday, and again, to me, today should be Monday instead of Tuesday. So yeah. I am noticing some glare. I got my new glasses on Friday, and so far I'm really liking them. The nose pieces are a little bit snug. We have to go back down on Friday for groceries and whatnot, so I might go in and have them adjust that a little bit, but I think it's just because my others were so loose and I wasn't used to them, and these actually feel like they're supposed to. But I can see great. They're progressive, so they, I have to get used to that line. But yeah, I'm not crazy about the glare, but you know what? It is what it is, right? I can see. That's all that matters. So I have lots to talk about today. I have no haul. We did not get to the post office yesterday. I know that my Fat Quarter Shop threads are in there waiting for us, so I will show those to you next video. My ornament, lots of turquoises and greens, and I'll show you why in just a moment. There's even a glare on that this morning. I love this. I'm enjoying this so much. I had to chance it down over the weekend, or well, I guess it was late last week, because it was just getting so full. Jinx, be nice. Be nice. She's growling at her feline brother. But yeah, it's just, it's getting full, so I have to chance it down so everything fits. Let's see, for my totals for the month, I am at 3,793, which I'm very happy about. And for the year, I am at 96,207. So, like I told you guys last video, there's a really good chance that I can hit 100,000 by the end of the month. So, happy dance for me. Yes, Snoopy, I'm talking to the imaginary people out there. We just got back from walkies, so they're like, oh, but we're not ready to settle down yet. Yes, you are. The Flosstubers that I have watched since I saw you last, I've only watched 4. There just hasn't been a whole lot of time. Like I said, we enjoyed our 4-day weekend, so Flosstube wasn't a priority. And then last week I worked a lot on the quilt for my bestie. So the only ones that I was able to watch was Sarah, Janet, Helen, and just so Sherrie. And I will put links to those down below so you guys can go check them out. And I have plans I want to talk about at the end, but let's get started. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I had 11 projects that I touched this week. Yes, be good. You just went out. Go lay down. Be a good girl. So I am continuing up with my 100-day challenge to work on a whip every day. I spin my wheel. And looks like since I've seen you, yes, the first one I worked on was Autumn Art Nouveau, and this was actually a free pattern from the Crostager. I've had this a really long time, and I finished the Christmas one, and I have these 3 going. Morgan is also doing the series, or the set, whatever you want to call it. So this is the autumn one with all the pretty grapes. And I put in 134 stitches in it, and I can never remember which direction it went. I think it went like this. And this is just a big piece of blue fabric that I think Morgan dyed both of these because I think hers is very similar. And then we cut it in 4. Well, and then she cut hers in 4, of course. Then I don't drink my coffee. So that's where I got to. I mostly worked, pardon me, I mostly worked in the greens and the yellows, and then I think I picked up, one of the purples in here. Maybe it was 550 I picked up. I can't remember. That was a week ago. I've slept since then. And this is a project bag that I made. Oh, that was on 14 count. It was white Aida that we had dyed. Some Laurel Birch fabric, and then the lining is some leftover from a dress that I had made Morgan. She was like 9 or 10. A huge print, so it didn't really, jinx be nice. It didn't really go with anything in particular, but it was a big enough piece for the lining on my bag. Next one I worked on, which was not, oh, maybe it was. No, I had just worked on this one to try and get it for a finish. It had actually come out last week, so I picked it up again to try and get a bite on it, which Morgan and I talked about it this weekend, that there's a lot of projects that we have worked on that if we would just take probably not even a week, if we would just take the time and say, okay, I'm going to focus on finish that. We both agree that we have several that we could have done in no time at all. But yeah. So anyway, back to Fallen Leaves. So I picked this one up and I worked on it again. And this was a free pattern in with the several different skeins of DMC variations. And this is a piece of 18 count fabric. I don't know what color. This was in a box that was given to me by a friend. But that's how far I am now. So you can see that I am, where am I at? I am like right in there. That's what I have left to do. So probably maybe 2 evenings, but I'm going to say probably closer to 3, because you'd be surprised at how many stitches are in those little leaves. So yeah, and I think, if memory serves me right, I don't have it. I didn't grab it. I think I actually have this on my Whipco board for a finish this year. So, and I showed you guys this bag last time. This is one that the inside's the same. So I decided that if I finish if I can get a finish done this month, which shouldn't be an issue, I am going to start my Halloween bird on Halloween. And that's what I forgot. Give me just a second. Sorry, I put this up and I forgot to show it to you guys that I got it finished. So I need to put this in my done pile to show you in a minute. So I'll write that on my list so I don't forget. Okay, next one I worked on was my, let's see, where am I at? This one was on Wild West, and this is another one that was on, excuse me, the board for a finish this year. I put 354 stitches into this one, and this is out of Cross Stitcher magazine from, well, it says issue 203, which means absolutely nothing, but I know it's an old issue because I started it a long time ago. I think this is actually one that I don't even have a start date for. So, green tube. So that's what it's going to look like. The pattern's on part of the page, so I can't show it all to you. And this is a piece of fabric that I dyed with some powdered RIT dye. I don't remember the color. I want to say tan, but I don't think so. But I made a lot of progress on this. I'm really happy. So you can see how far I am. I worked on the border. I worked on part of the rider and the horse. I worked on this line, the arrow, put in the R, and then put the W, finish the H and put the W in, and then I finished the G. So, and again, this is a perfect example of one of those that if I would just sit down and do it, and this one is actually less than a week because there's not that much left. And I thought it was so fitting. So I actually spun this one on Sunday. Sunday, the Broncos did the throwback uniforms to 1977 to celebrate the Orange Crush. And this is the project bag that this project lives in. I thought it was just so perfect. Made me chuckle. And then the lining is just some patriotic fabric. So yeah, I got quite a chuckle out of that. I was like, oh, what are the odds? There's a sign. And then the zipper pull, I love this. It's just a old-timey pistol with a rose on it. And some real pretty beads. When Morgan got the charms for the zipper pulls, I don't remember. It was like 400 or 500 charms. I don't remember for sure. I just know that there was like this huge bundle of different charms, and so we went through and we picked out all the ones that coordinated with all my projects, and I thought it was really cool. So let's see what's next. Patchwork Crow came up, and I put 104 in this one. You guys have seen this one before. This is one of my Whipco board for a finish. I don't think it's going to see a finish. Heart and hand. And this is a piece of fabric that I coffee tea dyed, and I tried something kind of fun with it. I remember forever ago watching a floss tuber, and she had taken coffee grounds and put on a piece of fabric. I was like, so I tried that. I took my wet coffee grounds, as soon as my coffee pot turned off, took my wet coffee grounds and just smeared them all over this fabric, and I left them there like all day till, the grounds were pretty much dry, and it gave it the dirtiest, most muddled look, but I love it. I think it turned out so good, and hopefully, oh, it is. It looks dirty, but I love it. So, like I said, I put 103 stitches in, and I think I finished the tail, and then I think I finished off the strand of black somewhere down in here, and then I picked up the red or maroon, I think it's actually brick, and put those in. So not a whole lot. For whatever reason, I'm not enjoying this one like I hoped I would. I don't know why, but I really want it done. This is another bag. This is some fabric that was sent to me by a gal that works at a quilt shop back in Vermont, and she shared some fabric with me. And then the lining is just some fabric, Halloween fabric that I had. I used to have a fairly decent stash of Halloween fabric, but apparently I've used it up. I don't have a zipper pull for this one. My plan was to have it done sooner than later, so yeah, no excuse. All right, next one I worked on was George and Martha, and this one got 101 stitches in it. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember why I only did a few. I don't think I was crunched for time. I don't remember why I didn't get much on this one. This one I'm using all the called for threads, which I can show you. I always have a blown up copy of the pattern in my bag, so I have to be careful not to show it. And this is Plum Street Sampler, and I just love this. I think it's so sweet. And of course, I consider myself to be very patriotic, so anything, you know, to do with Stars and Stripes, I'm all on that. Better not lose my needle, that would be bad. So this is just a piece of, I think some people call it fiddler's cloth. I've always known it as oatmeal Aida, but it's just 14 count. And I worked on this star and then the gold inside the star. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Oh, and then I did, there was one stitch, yeah. This blue, actually it's, I'll think of it in a minute. I'll look at it in just a second. Anyway, it had one stitch in the center of the star. So I did that one while I had it on for that star. It is Jeweled. So touch that one. I started that one in, I think I started that one on President's Day in 22, if memory serves me. I don't have my list. I didn't grab it. Oh, I forgot to put this up. I have to keep everything together because OCD is a thing. And this bag is some fabric that I got after 9/11, and the lining is the same. So I don't have a charm for that one. I need to get a flag charm for this. I love this fabric, but it's perfect for my patriotic pieces. So this is probably the second or third project that's actually been in. So okay, next one. I worked on the Earth Dragon, which is by Ink Circles. I put 183 stitches in this one. I started this one for a gift for Preston, and he picked out, so it calls for, hang on, I'm trying to remember what thread it called for. Maybe it didn't. Oh, it called for Gloriana Silks Antique Black. And so when I showed him the 4 of these, because there's all 4 elements, he says, well, let's make the elements, you know, coordinate for what they are. So he had picked out a real, like, oh, I want to say like a maroonish red for fire, and I can't remember the blue he picked out for water. And then we talked about for air doing a darker piece of fabric with, you know, maybe like a gray or a white or something like that to complement air. But I mean, that's a future Charlene project. That's just kind of where we're going with it. But for the Earth Dragon, he picked out Picnic Basket. And this fabric, I'm trying to remember, it's just a piece of 14 count that I'm trying to remember. I used a green and I don't remember if it was camel or if it was tan, but I did this one in the sink. But I gave it that greenish, basically that earth look there, kind of. So when I worked on it the other day, I came up here and finished this little motif. So those motifs there. And then, let's see, which way did I come down? Oh, and then I came down and I worked on this part of the border right here. I think I did that too. So yeah, I was really happy with where I got on that one. And again, this is another one. I mean, there's a lot of stitching to it, but just sit down and work on it. And again, a week, it would be done. So no excuses not to be done. It's just not. And I need to, I don't know if I have any more picnic basket in my stash or not. I need to go and look. I'm okay if the dye lot is different because it's earth, you know, so it's the different browns and whatnot. So it's going to complement it regardless. Don't have a project bag for that one. I honestly wasn't planning on taking that long to get it done. I found some really cute dragon fabric at Joann's here a while back, and I guess I need to go back and pick it up and use it. All right, so then the next one that I spun, this one was on the 4th, was my graduation boy. And this is a project for Dalton for graduation. It was supposed to have been done for his graduation gift, but best laid plans. So there's a little boy, and I have changed it up a little bit. Instead of this saying Bible, it's going to probably say math because he's an engineer major. And then instead of the cap and gown being in grays, I did it in blues to match his school colors, and then the tassel is in gold because their school colors were blue and gold. This is the one that I did for Morgan. And I don't know if I said how much I put in this one. Put in 125. So I worked on his face a little bit, his hands, and then quite a bit in the gown. So, and again, another one. This one I don't even think would take a week because the majority of the stitching is back stitching. And this is just the bag I had Prickly But Cute in. You guys have seen it before. The inside and out are the same. But I started this one right after or about the same time that I finished Prickly But Cute, so I thought that was a good one. It's a good big one for the book that the pattern is with. So when I had talked to you guys last time, I had told you that I wanted to start doing the rows of my necessity to have it done by Valentine's Day of 26. And I finished my October goal. So here's the pattern. The October goal was this stretch right here. And I didn't write down what day I got it done, but it was, well, it's since I seen you last. So here's the fabric, obviously much more than I need. And this is the row, and then I had some left on my needle, so I came down and I started the next row. So this is where I'll pick up at when I pick it up in November, and we'll go from there. So, and I think that'll go really fast because it's just the words. So yeah, I think that'll work up quick. I'm thinking about going ahead and getting a bag made for this one, just simply because I will be handling it a lot, you know, every month basically. And I have some cute heart fabric that would be fun for that, for, you know, love and whatnot. So, all right, next one is the Thatch Cottage, and this is my break it into 12. I've shown this one to you guys several times. Find a picture. And this is out of, for those of you that are new, the cross stitch collection, and it's from August of '97. And oh, I guess it's got the hoop on there. I have been working on this one, not every night, but getting close. I don't have a huge swath for October because I worked over a lot in September, because if the threads, you know, if the stitches continue, I'll just go ahead and finish it off in the other section. So, oh, I love those colors. So this swath right here, this is essentially, the sharp edge right here is essentially the edge of this row of 12 that I'm working on for October. And so I have from here up to finish, which is mostly the chimney. And then I think I've got a little tiny bit of tree left in here, but the chimney goes clear to the top. I think I have 4 colors left to finish this one off. So hopefully I'll get to work on this one this evening. We'll just have to see what this evening brings. Preston and I started watching The Old Man. It has Jeff Bridges in it, and it's on, I think he said it's on FX. We're watching it on Hulu because we're catching up with the series, or season 1. And so I think we're 4 episodes in now. Anyway, it's a really good show, and I really like Jeff Bridges. So this is one of the vinyl bags. I think I've shown this one to you guys before too. And then the inside and the back are just quilted. And then I made the blocks along the bottom complement the different colors in the bag. So, and I think Morgan has I think it's a cat one that she has. I'm not sure what she's got in hers though. All right, the next one that I worked on, excuse me, was, I'm going in the wrong order, the stitching shelf, which I had told you guys, and this is an upcycle bag. This is what my frogs used to live in. So I had told you guys that I was working on this one. Let me back up. I showed you the wrong bag. I pulled the wrong project. This one, I wanted to get to the bottom of fall, so I was ready for winter, when the first day of winter came up. And let me find I was able to work down to the bottom of it, and this one actually came up for a spin. Words are difficult. For the spin yesterday. Well, it's helping a little bit. Morgan suggested turning the screen brightness down on my phone. It is helping a lot. So you can see it. It's an Amy Stewart. And I worked on this one pretty much all day while, we were enjoying the day and watching TV and whatnot yesterday. And I put in 375 stitches. It's just on a piece of 14 count Aida. And it's the mini, so it's not going to be huge. But I did that because I wanted to be able to have it for a travel piece. So I have spring into summer, and then I got fall clear down, and I'm pretty sure that this next row down here, and I say that because it's got a lot of blue in it, so we're going to assume, which we both know what assumption spells, starts the beginning of winter. So I'm fairly comfortable that, I got down to, for the 20th of December, I'll be ready to start that one, start winter. But my goal is to work in each one, season accordingly. And of course, I've got more done in spring because I started it like leap year. And so I just went ahead and instead of jumping around and taking a chance of messing up, I just really focused on it. And then, of course, we did quite a bit of traveling in the spring and visiting colleges and whatnot in our vacation. And so I was able to get a bigger swath of spring done than the other 2 seasons. So we'll see what fall brings. But I am ready for winter when winter comes up. And my goal on that one is to have it done by the, first day of, by our next leap year in 28. So fingers crossed, that's my goal. And this bag, because I have a journal and all kinds of stuff, it's an actual, just a big bag. This was a jelly roll of different colors that a friend of mine gave me. And then the lining is some black hearts and a string. It looks like it needs a bath. Like it really needs a bath. It goes everywhere with me. So anyway, that's my travel bag for my stitching. Okay, so now to go back to what we were talking about. So I had told you guys that I wanted to incorporate my full coverage pieces. And I lied to you. I said I had 23 full coverage. I have 24. I do not know how I missed the one. I realized it when I was coming up, and I'll discuss this in my plans for next year. And I was like, goofball. So anyway, I will be able to work on 2 different full coverages a month. Put them into the wheel. I'll spin on the 1st and the 16th. So I don't get tired of them, but I also make a good dent in the progress of it. So on the 1st I spun, and it spun my Meadow Flowers, which is a Van Gogh piece. And I was really, really happy with that because I really like this piece, and when I started it, it had like hardly no start to it at all. So I'll show you where my progress was. So that's all I had done when I picked it back up on the 1st. And this is what it looks like. So this is Van Gogh's Meadow Flowers. And so far, as of this morning, because I do 30 minutes a day on it, I work on it before, well, it's still dark, before the girls and I go on our walkies. I have 950 stitches put in since I started working on it on the 1st, which I think is amazing. That is how much I've gotten done. And I still have basically a week left to work on it. So I'm really, really happy with my plan because I'm not going to be getting tired of it. And that's where I was with Liberty Quaker when I was working on it, is that I was getting tired of that project, besides the fact that I had whittled it down, I think, to like 4 colors. And I was tired of the project. So I wasn't enjoying my 30 minutes. But this one, I can see stuff. Like I can start to see my flowers. I'm making a dent on the background. Like I can really see progress on this. And so if you think about it, if you average, well, like I said, I'm halfway there. Or yeah, basically halfway there to my 2 or 15, 16 days. Potentially I could put in over 1,800 or roughly 1,800 stitches for that time frame to make a dent in my full coverages, which I'm really happy about, because a lot of my full coverages haven't been touched. Well, like Aries that I picked up the other day, I hadn't worked on it for, I think, 3 years. It's not going to get done if I don't touch it. So I'm really happy that I decided to do, and you don't think 100 stitches a day makes a difference, but obviously over time, that's huge. So I'm happy with my progress. Now I'll show you my FFO that I forgot to grab. So I think I had this one finished. Trying to remember when. Yeah, I finished it on and showed it to you 2 videos ago. So I actually got it quilted and put together. I'm pretty sure I didn't show this one to you last week. If I did, I'm sorry for the redundancy. But same fabric on the back. Preston picked it out. It complements the red there. And I won't get to enjoy it until next year, but it's done. So the Halloween one that I was talking about, if I can justify, having a finish and getting a finish done, then I want to start the Halloween one at the end of the month. So that's my hope. So plans, obviously, that will be 2 or 3 weeks away because, what Halloween is. How many videos do we have? We still have 3 more videos before then, so a lot can happen between now and then. I want to continue with my 100-day challenge, which today is day number 46, so we're almost halfway there, which I'm really happy about. So I'm going to continue with my 30 minutes a day. So when I come to you next week, that will be the last day. See, today's the 8th. Yeah. Next video will be the last day that you'll see the meadow flowers. And then on the 16th, I will spin for my next full coverage to work on. So I decided that I'm in the group Full Coverage Fanatics, and they have decided one of the goals, expectations. Kim actually has a new video out that I need to go and watch. I don't know if it's about her stuff or if it's about the full coverage stuff, but I need to go and watch it. Excuse me, Kim Hollenbeck. I want to participate, not necessarily in the group. I'll probably just do my own thing, but I want to follow kind of what they're doing, as far as one of the goals is to finish 25 pages next year on your full coverage pieces. And like I told you guys, I have 24 full coverages. And so this weekend I sat down, pardon me, and I have 2 that are paper copies. One is a Haid that was in a World of Cross Stitching magazine. It hasn't come up on the spin yet, but when it does, I'll make sure and tell you guys about it. And then the other one, we had bought the paper pattern. This was before we started using Pattern Keeper, and then the artist left Haid, and so I only have it in a paper copy. I don't have the digital copy, which is fine. But what I did was I went through all of my full coverages, because I have them all on my tablet in Pattern Keeper, minus those 2. And I went through and I wrote down, there it is. I went through and I wrote down how many pages each one of them had. And after I'd done it, I felt very overwhelmed. And Preston's like, well, then why'd you do that? And I said, because I needed to know. Excuse me. So the Moonlit Hair and the Aries Quick Stitch are the 2 that I have that are paper copies. I don't have them on Pattern Keeper, but I can just go through. I know that the Moonlit Hair is 4 pages because it's 2 pages in 2 different magazines. The Aries Quick Stitch will be quite a bit more, but it is a quick stitch, so maybe it won't be too bad. But I went through and I figured up how many pages I have on each one. And that will tell me, going through and looking at each one, kind of like this one for the meadow flowers. I'm not just working in that page because I don't want those lines, but I'm not intentionally going like all the way across or anything like I have on others. I'm sticking as much into that first page as possible, because next year then when I go, okay, I want to, focus on the ones that I'm really close to a page finish, that can be one of them that I can put on that list. And so I'm going to create, kind of like I have on my other Facebook stuff, like my 100-day challenge and stuff, I'm going to create a picture accountability for myself of, okay, this is a picture of the project. So first one is my April fairy. So I'll put a picture of, the project. I'll put a picture of where I'm at on the project. And the cool thing about Pattern Keeper is that you can zoom all the way out and you can't see any of the pattern. You can just see, which you guys know this if you have Pattern Keeper, you can see what the whole pattern looks like without showing the actual pattern, if that makes sense. You can see the dimensions, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and the page breaks. So zoom all the way out and say, okay, this is how many pages I have. I'm going to shoot for finishing page whatever, 1 and 2, whatever, you know, is a reasonable goal. And whether I get 25 pages on one project or I get a page on each project or whatever, that's kind of what I want to focus on for next year as one of my goals, because it goes back to the whole, I have all these projects, they're not getting any love, they're not seeing any progression. What's the purpose of it? And when you put into context, there's one of these, like my war pony. I don't have the mini of that one. That one's actually the big one of the war pony. You haven't seen that one yet. It hasn't come in to spin. It's a Lori Prindle through Haid. It's got 36 pages. At the rate I'm going, I'll never see it done. And I want it done. That's one of my favorite projects that I have. It has done on it. So I want to do better about making more progress on especially these bigger ones. And I want to do better about making more progress on finishing these things. I'm not saying I don't want to do no new starts. I just really want to focus on making a dent in some of the ones that I have. So when I start something new, I don't feel bad about it, if that makes sense. You know, I want to see more of this on my walls and less of it in project bags, if that makes sense. So anyway, that's one of my other goals. I need to, and this is going to be a process to, you know, take the pictures and get the file all prepared. And obviously I have a couple months left, but coming into the holidays, I also have Christmas to get done. So, and to work on the projects and. So lots to do. I think that is everything I have. I wasn't planning on it being this long, but I guess I talked too much. I'm going to let you guys go. I have biscotti to make today and dog treats to get made today. And yeah, today's my Monday, Tuesday, so I need to get busy. So anyway, I will wish you guys an amazing day. I hope you enjoy all of your stitching. Thank you to all of our new subscribers, and thank you for supporting our channel. And I finally was able to get Facebook to switch over the name of our Facebook page. So everything across the board, Facebook page, Instagram, our videos here, everything, our Etsy page, everything across the board is all Flights of Fancy now. We are no longer Witchy Stitchers. So if you're looking for us, Flights of Fancy. So again, have a great day. Enjoy every life. Be safe if you're in the path of the hurricane or you're cleaning up from Helena. I'm sending you much good juju. And just remember, be kind. Have a good day, guys. Bye.